Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm here today to share another passage with you. This one comes from Psalm 138. Now, I talk a lot and bring advice and encouraging words from the Psalms because they're full of that, and I hope you've come to appreciate that. So here's another one. It's Psalm 138, and it's three verses, beginning with verse 3. As soon as I pray, you answer me. You encourage me by giving me strength. And then verse 7 and 8. Though I am surrounded by troubles, you will protect me from the anger of my enemies. You will reach out your hand, and the power of your right hand saves me. The Lord will work out his plans for my life. For your faithful love, O Lord, endures forever. Okay, a couple of thoughts here related to these passages. Verse 3, as soon as I pray, you answer me. Now, is that what you would say God does for you? As soon as you pray, God answers. I guess it depends on what you mean by the word answer. Now, sometimes I have, and our corporate church has, prayed, and we saw an immediate response to that prayer. Usually it had to do with healing. Other times, and most of the time, we don't see that immediate answer. And in other situations, it's not related to health, the immediate fixing of what we're praying about, as we understand it, doesn't arrive. Now, does that mean that God doesn't immediately answer us? Well, in human thinking, my mind, your mind, everybody else's mind, you'd probably say, yes, that's what it means. That God really doesn't answer immediately. But I would suggest that our minds are not big enough to comprehend God. Our minds, as good as they are, and some evidently are better than others, our minds are inherently unable to understand what God's doing. So when he says, as soon as you pray, he answers me. I believe God does. Now, it may take me a while to get the answer, and it might be because it's not the answer I want to hear. You know, when I was a kid growing up, I'd ask my parents for permission for something. And often they would say no. And that wasn't the answer I wanted to hear. Didn't mean they didn't answer me. It just meant they didn't do what I wanted. And when we want God to do what we want, instead of wanting to do what God wants, well, then we set ourselves up for disappointment. Because he says here and many other places that he hears us. Now let's look at the other part of this passage. Though I am surrounded by troubles, you who protect me from the anger of my enemies, you reach out your hand, and the power of your right hand saves me. Here the word says, though I am surrounded by troubles. It's not when or if or perhaps maybe. It's though, implying I am surrounded by my troubles. I am. You're not. Why do you think you're so special that you shouldn't have troubles? I mean, come on. We live in a sinful world, and in a sinful world, bad things happen. And there's nothing we can do about that until, of course, we get to heaven. Then the world changes, and that changes the whole whole ball game, as they say. But though I am surrounded by troubles, surrounded, not just influenced by, not just affected by, but surrounded. The imagery here is that everywhere I turn are troubles, or at least potentially so. And I bet you if you looked at your life, you'd probably say the same thing. That everywhere you look, and that's because we're human. And God wants us to live out our lives on this earth first. And I think part of that is so that we can influence those who don't know Him. But in any case, though I am surrounded, even though you protect me from the anger of my enemies, and you reach out your hand, and the power saves me. See that imagery? Even though there's stuff all around, God's hand is still reaching in the midst of it. Now, it doesn't say that I'm reaching up my hand hoping you'll take it. No, God's hand is reaching down so we can grab one. God always offers us what some people call a lifeline. We don't always take it. Maybe we don't even recognize it, but He's still offering it. And the reason He's offering, let me read this part one more time. The Lord will work out His plans for my life, for your faithful love, O Lord, endures forever. It says that God will work out His plans in my life. Not my plans, but His plans. If my plans are not His plans, then my plans are in trouble. And He does this because His faithful love endures forever. Now, I don't know how God does that, particularly the way I treat Him sometimes, and I'm guessing you do too. And some of you listening to me today have never had anything good to do or say about Him. But His faithful love still reaches out to us. So in these passages here, we can see something about our own lives and about God in the midst of that. It seems pretty clear to me. I hope it is to you. But if you're confused, well, call me up. We'll talk about it. What do you got to lose? And if you have other needs and concerns, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your needs. So thanks so much for listening today. Hope you have a really, really great day. I'll be back tomorrow. God bless you.